Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about Chloe Bailey and how this situation of hers is actually a lot sadder than a lot of people realize. So I know a lot of people are dismissing this as, well, it's not that serious. She's just posting some, half nude photos and getting attention. And, they're saying things like, she's been wanting to do this for a long time, and some people are praising her, some people are criticizing her, but it's actually very sad when you think about it. So if you don't know what's going on, I'll give a quick summary. Chloe Bailey, the artist and actress, she started to post certain types of photos on Instagram after she separated her Instagram from her sister's Instagram. And they've been pretty conservative, really not as conservative as a lot of people think in their appearances. But after she started to post these photos on Instagram, people started to praise her. They were praising her body because the photos, she was not completely dressed in the photos, and she was dancing provocatively, and people were praising her at first, just like the internet does. And then after a little while, people started to criticize her and say that she was doing too much and she was trying too hard, and they started to make comparisons between Chloe and Hallie, which is the sister. And initially, when Chloe started to post those photos and people were praising her, she did not really respond. After a while, after she got a few followers, she thanked everyone, basically. And, she was grateful for the following, and a lot of blogs started to post her. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and all these other blogs started to post her a lot more than they used to. And it was all praises, and she was very grateful. But of course, the same people that praised her and lifted her up decided to bring her back down, and they started to criticize her, and the criticisms were starting to get very kind of vicious, actually, because it was starting to go to a much darker place as far as her character, and they were even starting to make comparisons between her and her sister, and almost as if they were about to start pitting them against each other and say, one is classy and Chloe is not. And so that was when Chloe decided to make a statement, and she made this statement.
I do it musically, with my songwriting, with my producing. I feel so, and I get the same feeling when I dance in my room, when I just own who I am and my body. And for so long, I used to think I was fat, and I used to hate my stretch marks and my cellulite. I'm not gonna cry. But it's now I really love who I am. When I see all the uproar about my posts and stuff, I'm a bit confused. I really don't understand, because I've never seen myself in that way or in that light. So I take it as a huge compliment that you all even think of me as a sexual, sexy being. And it's never, I don't post what I post for people to, I don't post what I post to get attention. I don't need that. I am a very spiritual person, and I feel like during quarantine I got really close to God. So even in the lowest moments when I felt like people weren't seeing me, when people weren't paying attention to me, God was. And I've learned I don't need outside attention. So you all seeing what I'm posting is just me being me. I'm such a nerd, and I'm not worldly at all. Ask anyone who knows me, they think I'm 50 years old in the head. But when I perform, and when I make music, and when I dance, that's when I get to tap into the sexier side of myself. And that's where I find my confidence. I'm not gonna cry this time, because y'all know I be crying. So it really means a lot to me when I can finally get to a place where I share who I really am. And I've been like really insecure for a long time. And I'm finally like at that place where I have self-confidence. Don't change who you are to make society feel comfortable. And I'm telling myself that's not what I'm going to do. And even when I posted the video yesterday, I was posting it because I was saging and doing Palo Santo, and I was like, let's spread positive vibes. I didn't even really notice you all would talk about because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just walking in for 1 second, 2 seconds, you know. And I feel like I've shown my than I have with that. Like, if you look at our performance videos, the last performance we had in December, like, I was just so excited and on stage and just being myself. So I don't know, I just felt it was important to address it so you guys get to kind of get to know who I am more inside.
So basically, the statement is saying that, she's finally comfortable in her skin, and, this is who she is. She doesn't want to hide anymore. This is who she's always been, blah, 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 right? Now, here's what I think. I think that Chloe, you would think that she would know this by now, or, both of them, her and her sister, would know this by now, considering that they're being mentored by Beyonce. But I think that Chloe actually puts too much stock in the praises that she gets from social media. And that is why the criticism is affecting her this much. I feel like if you have someone under your mentorship and they're going to be famous, the first thing you're going to want to do is to make sure they understand that the internet is vicious, and they will be vicious to them regardless of what they look like and who they are and what they do. So I'm really surprised, honestly, that Chloe is reacting this way to, what social media has to say. But anyway, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is this. The fact that she is crying and giving explanations tells me that she's putting too much weight on the praises and criticisms that she's getting from the internet. And she cannot do that because these people are just going to tear her into pieces. She has to have tough skin. She cannot, when they praise her beauty, her body, she cannot let that get into her head. She cannot believe anything that they say, regardless of what she thinks is true or not. She just cannot take it this seriously, because what happens is, if she takes the praises seriously and she takes it to heart and believes everything that these people are saying that she's the best thing since sliced bread, what do you think she's going to do when they begin to criticize her and compare her to an animal or an insect or whatever else they do on social media? She's going to take that to heart as well, and it's really going to torment her. And when they decide to tear a person down, they go really, really hard. So she cannot take any of this to heart. She needs to just either not read her comment section, or just take it all with a grain of salt and understand that the same people that build her up, all these blogs, are going to tear her down, including, regular people in the comment section. So she absolutely cannot take this whole thing seriously. She needs to do what Black China does, or what, what's the girl's name who's dating everybody? Lori Harvey. She needs to do what they do. They know how to handle themselves. They do not take the praises and the criticisms to heart. They take what they want and they leave the rest on the floor. That's what Chloe needs to do. She needs to learn how to take the positive and just leave the negatives behind. If she cannot do that, then she needs to avoid listening to the comments and the blogs completely. That's kind of hard to do when your name is everywhere, but somebody needs to tell her. She really needs to understand how this whole thing works. Honestly, I'm really surprised by her reaction, because I thought she would have figured this out by now. They've been famous for quite a while, so it's not as if she just came out of the blue and people are just giving her attention. She's been in the blogs for a long time. She's been ignored despite her talents for a long time. So I don't know. I guess they've never really been criticized before. They've been ignored, but they've never really been criticized and viciously attacked by a bunch of random people before. So this is a first for her. Plus, they're still kind of young, so I guess, but she really needs to grow, a tough skin. Here's another thing that I want to say that is super duper important, and it's this. And this is why I say this situation is a lot sadder than it seems. Chloe and Halle have been making music and acting for a long time. And sure, their talents have been, mentioned here and there, and they've had a big following, and they've been praised for their ability to sing and perform and all of that. But they have never had this level of attention before. So, despite all of her talents, Chloe and Halle, despite everything they've done, they were classy, they were singing their hearts out, they were dancing, performing, working hard, doing everything that they thought they needed to do to be successful. They did not get this much attention from the blogs, but as soon as they begin to wear less clothing, they go viral. This is just so sad. It is so sad. And this goes to show that honestly, talent is overrated at this point. You don't need talent anymore. You just need to take off your clothes, get on the internet, and you'll get attention. And whatever music you put out, people are going to buy. Because it's just crazy. Like, these girls are so talented. So talented. There are videos of her actually making music, like creating music, creating beats. And they can sing, they can act. And this is what makes them go viral. Despite their association with Beyonce, that didn't make them go viral. It made them known, but it didn't make them go as viral and as praised as they're being praised now. And it is just so sad. I can't even wrap my head around the fact that their beauty and their talents and their hard work, none of that mattered as much as just taking a couple of clothes off. And then people wonder why people are on the internet and on social media twerking constantly and refusing to put their clothes back on. Because this is how some people have to feed. This is how some people can get success. Any other way, and the blogs will overlook them, and the comment section will be all dry and nobody will talk about them. So you can't really blame anybody for taking off their clothes and twerking and just doing the most on social media. This is just, it's so sad and ridiculous, and I'm kind of mad for them. But she'll get over it, she'll get past it, she'll get used to it, and hopefully she would come to understand how the internet works and that she cannot take what people say too seriously. But it's really sad. And the funny part is that this is not a new thing. We've seen them twerk before, in previous videos. We've seen them wear scanty clothes before. We've seen them dance sexy before. So this is not a new thing. But I think the reason why this created so much buzz for her is because this was not done in the context of her making music. It was just done as her, as an individual, like just being herself and not performing, and just on social media, like in her room, basically. So it kind of made it more personal. So I guess when you do all of these things, when you dance sexy and are scantily clad, but on stage, people kind of chalk it up to, well, it's a performance, so they don't really associate it with you as a person. But when you do it in person, like she did it, then it becomes a big deal. Because quite honestly, they've been dressing this way for a long time. It's not a new thing. So this sudden reaction is just, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a wave. Like one person started it and then everybody else just jumped on it and started to praise her, and one person started to criticize her, and of course everybody jumped on that as well, because that's what people do. They just troll, basically. But I hope she's fine. She needs to stop giving excuses and crying on the internet. These people do not care. The people listening to her, they don't care. They just there to have fun and laugh and poke fun at whoever they can. But I'm sure she'll be fine. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.